Should I fold or hold?
Hey folks, read the disclaimer. Don't risk money you can't afford to lose. My videos are just to share information and for educational purposes. So today's don't do it lesson is on CDT stock. And this occurred on September 17, 2025. So it's about 5:35 in the morning. We got up a little late and stock was moving up. It just reclaimed off, you can see there. And so we decided to jump in thinking that things were going to go well. But I think I had only been logged in for about 5 minutes. And when you don't have time to prepare, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to make the right choices. And I'm an advocate for preparation being 60% of any project that you undertake. No matter how small or how large the project is, if you prepare well, you can get most of the requirements done ahead of time, leaving whatever physical activities need to be done towards the end, and they all fall into place. If you like our videos, like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It's totally free, and it helps out the channel. So during this week, this is the month of September 2025, we've been cautiously only using small share sizes for our first trade. 10 shares, 20 shares. The fact that this was a penny stock, I think, influenced me to go right in. What is more concerning is also that I didn't have my full desktop set up, and I was busy looking at the charts and looking elsewhere, but I still jumped in because of FOMO. And that was one of the biggest mistakes. So you have to study price action. And this is one great way of doing it. If you can afford to lose, if you can afford to put your money at risk. For small accounts, it is not. For small accounts, every little penny, you have to make it count. And so losing is not an option. Going into a bad trade is not an option. So what are we looking at here? We have a 5-minute chart. Though it looks okay, there's a long tail wick at the top of that bar, the current bar. On the 1 minute, we got a two red bar pullback. It reclaimed. And then we got an indecision bar 3 minutes ago. We have this nice red bar again. And now a second red bar. And it looks like it's going to duplicate what happened just 4 minutes ago. So at this point, my choice should have been to exit with a small loss, very small loss. The EMA lines there, the blue one's the 20, the magenta one's the 50. The yellow line is the price line. Are going upwards, but they're starting to reverse. The little R that you see there is a trend reversal indicator. And the fact that it is light red is signaling that the pattern, the barrier pattern that has just happened indicates that this stock is going to fall. So we're only less than $10 here. We could get out. It's a penny stock. And we can still, if we have enough cash back, if it does come back, if it reclaims, go back in. I wasn't paying full attention. And I was just in the fervor of FOMO wanting to make a little bit of money and start out my first trade with a splash. So I've had two opportunities to quit at less than $7, at less than $10. And now I've let this get out of hand. And now you can see the EMAs there turning inwardsly and curling down. The MACD signal line, which is the blue line below the volume bars, is turning down. The super trend indicator is red. This Zurich MACD is turning purple, indicating that the upward momentum has faded. During the week, during the month, excuse me, I have been applying good practices. I have been doing well. But this morning, I got up hurriedly. I got into the market. I logged in. I set everything up. And I see something moving, and I jump in. If you've ever been late to work and you were running after you parked your car and you're running because you got to walk towards a building somewhere, and there's a crowded street, you avoid the crosswalk, you cross through the middle, and you almost get hit. That's what I just did here. So when you run into those conditions, you have to have more discipline. You have to be calm, and you have to understand that there will be other opportunities. This is a penny stock. It's not going to make you rich, and it wasn't going to make me rich, and I'm certainly not expecting to make $100 out of it. So why did I go in? Stupidity, stubbornness, greed, and those emotions will burn you up in the stock market and cause you to lose money. Because if you allow this to happen once, you're going to let it happen again. And what happens is you begin to hold, you have this bag now that you got to carry, and you're going to have to hold it for a very long period of time. Now, the positives. I picked a penny stock that wasn't very expensive, even though I went in with 200 shares. The level 2 and the active trader window on the top right show that there are a number of bids and a number of asks, which means buyers and sellers are numerous and they're actively trading this stock. So there's an opportunity here to hold once we get to the bottom. So what I did here was I was hoping that about 79, 80 cents would be the reversal. And that's right about VWAP there. It wasn't. It came back down all the way to 70 cents. And now what I'm hoping is that, and yeah, I'm looking at the technical indicators to see if it's going to go up, because at a certain point I got to make a decision to exit. But I'm hoping that it's going to reclaim and it's going to go back up again and at least get me halfway out of this loss. One of the things that I noticed that added encouragement for me was that on the Zurich MACD, which is the lower indicator on the 1 minute chart, that purple cloud there did not open wider. The fact that the MACD itself did not open wider away from the signal line, which is the yellow line. The concerning is the decreasing volume. You see a very large bar there and then slowly decreasing volume. And you can see that in time and sales, things begin to slow down. So we started this trade around 535, and now we have to hold it, right? And it's now 5:45. 10 minutes have gone by. And in those 10 minutes, you're feeling stress, you're feeling anguish. It doesn't matter what amount of money it is. And you're also not focusing in on other stocks that could potentially be winners and better choices than this stock. Another condition that came about out of this, I don't know if I want to call it a failed trade, but certainly an unthoughtful trade, is that as the reversal begins right here, now we're in fear. We're in fear that the stock is going to turn around and dump. And that prevents us from going in. We purchased 200 shares that are 89 cents, roughly less than $200. And we still have plenty on, when you're trading on a 2K account, we still had $1,800 left, a little more than that. And we could have jumped in here if we thought that it was going to go up. But the fear and the fact that we made a bad choice prevents us from being forward. Now, you don't want to be aggressive. You don't want to be over positive, and you certainly don't want to rely on hope. You want to look at your indicators and your strategy and make sure that it works. The good thing that we did here was that at least we took the time, and I think that's one of the reasons why I got delayed when I saw this stock moving, was I went into the daily chart and I charted out some horizontal lines there for support and resistance. And you would notice they've been there since the beginning, and they've pretty much almost been right on as to where the reversal was up at the top, right around 93, 92 cents. The one at the bottom is around 67, 68 cents, but it's still a range, right? So the stock made it all the way down to 70 within 2 pennies of our draw. So that's the channel that this stock is trading. So we should have known that as it moved up, it would come back down. We would then right here at this point take our 200 share trade, and we should have been in somewhere around 73, 74 cents. Notice our trend reversal indicator turns purple, which says there might be a pattern here. Now you got to remember, in looking at the chart, if you're only trading from what's on the chart is only painting after the fact, after things have occurred. So they're letting you know, hey, a few seconds ago this happened. And you can't use that as a precursor to make decisions. One of the things I've done, even though you guys see a single screen here, my charts are on screen 1. The level 2, time and sales, the watch list, and the active trader window is on another screen, a second screen, and I put those windows butted up to each other. And the reason I do that is because one of the things I've discovered is that since I began to focus more on the level 2 time and sales in the active trader window, I have become a better trader. Or I've been trading for about 3 months on a simulator starting May of last year. Began live trading and beginner's luck. Had a great September last year, making over $400. And then October, November, and December were disastrous. And at the beginning of this year, it was even worse. So my drawdown from September of last year, from October actually of last year to today, is roughly about $1,900. I don't consider that a huge drawdown, And considering that some of the day trader courses out there are twice as much as what I've lost. So, and I'm hoping that for the rest of these months during 2025, that the stock market will stabilize a little bit and allow me to earn that back. Certainly, I'm not worried yet about paying taxes on earnings, but if I start making money, then I'll have to worry about taxes. So there it goes again. So the stock here is still consolidating. Not sure whether it wants to go back up. It's 550 now. We've been in the trade since 535. And we've noticed that the price has not dropped below 70 cents. So at this point, we have to continue to hold. So here, holding, because the stock is holding, was a good choice. However, the stock is not only going up because of itself or the buyers and the sellers, it is the market conditions. It is important for you. One of the reasons I have the watch list there, and I use them extensively. My eyes rotate between level 2, active trader, the watch list, and level 2, and time and sales, I'm sorry. And the reason I do that is because, as you can see there on the right, there's a watch list called gappers. And that tells me which are the latest stocks that are moving up. And CDT just hit that gappers list at the very top. And that tells me that volume is coming in, and you see time and sales increasing. And this would have been an ideal place to jump in with 600 or 1,000 shares and ride it all the way up. But the fear, the fact that we made a mistake, didn't allow us to do that. Even though here now we know we have support at 71 to 73, and we possibly are building support here now at 80, we aren't sure. But the MACD is telling us we're moving up. Volume bars are moving up. On the 5 minutes, the green bar has just overtaken that red bar, the long red bar. And this would have been a great place to add. But we opted not to. Why? Because of fear. And we were down as much as $37, $38, and now we've recovered to 14. And what's going through our mind right now is we're hoping that we can make this money back. And $16, $30 is not a whole lot of money, but 2 weeks ago, I think, on Wednesday also, or Thursday, I made similar mistakes and I lost over $300. So when you come across conditions like this and when you make mistakes like this, you have to learn, be mindful of what's happening and what's going, cut your loser trades early. One of the things I've discovered over looking at the reports over the last 3 weeks is that the thing that has changed much for me isn't the winning percentage versus the losing percentage. It is the fact that I'm making good choices on the stocks and the entries that I'm taking, and I am earning or winning more money than losing. So my winning trades, for example, for the day today, were on the average $10. My losing trades were $5. And I took a total of 13 trades, 8 winners and 5 losers. Well, 5 times 5 is only $25. That's a loser. 10 times 8 is $80. Those were the winners. 80 minus 25 gives me the net, a net green day. If I can do that going forward, I can do well. And I know that I can survive this market. Good thing about the markets coming from August into September has been that they've been tepid. Warm some days, other days not so much. Today was a Fed decision day, And yeah, we did. I expected to see a lot more volume, and we didn't. A lot more activity, we didn't see it. So we made good choices here after the fact, after we were losing money by not selling. But this is making money the hard way. And out of this total trade, I made less than $6. I made other trades on this day on CDT and came away a winner. If you'd like to see those videos, go back to my channel, look at the playlist for September 2025, look for September 17th, and you can play that video and watch all those trades. I'm hoping that this helps you. It certainly helps me to explain and to narrate the things I did right, the things I did wrong. And I hope that it also helps you. And I wish you the best of success on the market. Have a great day or a night.